Then we moved to Georgia in summer of 2007. Um, we went to instead of an apartment this time we went to like a one-story house with like one, two, three, about like three rooms, a long hallway. It was a long hallway between our room because I had to share the same room. Me and my sister, I had to, well, because we had a bunk bed. I basically slept on the top of the bunk bed. She slept on the bottom. But I think I was six at the time. Yeah, I was six at the time when we moved. I grew up watching shows like in Germany. I grew up watching shows like Between the Lions and Dragon Tales, and in Germany, I grew up watching shows like. That's actually what Texas. In Germany, I grew up watching shows like Sesame Street and Bob the Builder and other shows like that. And then in Georgia, I grew up watching shows, or also Drake and Josh and Romeo. Um, and in Georgia, I grew up watching shows like iCarly and SpongeBob SquarePants and a few other shows that I can't really think of right now. But or Sweet Life on Deck, which is the sequel series basically to the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. But yeah, we lived right across the street from one of our friends, who was next door to another one of my friends. My sister's friend and my friend Valerie Delgado, and my my best friend at the time, Brandon Casebolt. Um, yeah, in 2007, I think it was. We watched The Game Plan, which was sports comedy featuring Dwayne the Rock Johnson and Madison Pettis, who played one of the characters in Corey in the House, which was another sequel or spinoff series actually of That's So Raven. Also grew up watching Wizards of Waverly Place. Started first grade in September of 2007. Went pretty well. Went pretty well. It was a big school. We went to. Well, actually no, it was not a big school. It was maybe a big in terms of width, but not too much in terms of height. But it was still a pretty big school. We went to Wilson Elementary School in 2007. In 2008, I started the second grade with my least favorite teacher that I ever had, Miss Kleber, I think it was. Yeah, she was pretty strict and mean. I think one time I got in over it because I've been taking prescription pills because I have a lot of things wrong with me. Autism, anxiety, OCD. I think I mentioned this in a prior video, but have a lot of conditions. Um, but one day, I think it was 2008 or 2009. I can't remember. I I think I took one or two too many prescription pills, and I fell asleep in art class and I got in trouble. Got like a pink slip, which is one of the worst things that you can do in that class. One of the because there were levels. There was yellow, blue, orange, red, and the ultimate was like pink. and if you got a pink slip, then they had to call your parents and pretty much contact the principal, which I found bullcrap because I fell asleep in this art class, and I got in trouble for it. I got a pink slip, and I told my mom what happened, and they apologized basically. Um, but yeah, I hated her. I hated that teacher, especially because of that. But I I, I did get her back though. I did get her back. I stole her yearbook, or at least I thought I did. And at the time, I regretted it, but I don't anymore. Anyways, 2008, we also saw movies like Kung Fu Panda and Marley and Me in theaters. 2009, I started third grade. Um, I think that was the first time I had my first big crush on a girl named Kaylee who wasn't in my class. It was in the same class as my best friend Brendan. But yeah, we went to field trips like the I think it was a Native American village cultural thing in 2009. I don't know if they still have it around, but that was one of the field trips we went on, and it was pretty good time. Pretty good time. Um, I peed my pants a little bit. A couple days in school before, which happens, or at least it did to me. But I'm not embarrassed to tell this because I was like 8 or 9 at the time, so like I said, it happens. And then in 2009, my dad had to go to late 2009, I think it was. First my cousins visited us because we were living in Georgia. They were living in California. They're still living in California. That's where they reside. But I'm obviously not gonna say where they live because of privacy reasons. But they visited us in 2009. We went to the opening of a new museum on Post in Fort Benning, California, or not California, Fort Benning, Georgia. My bad. Still hung up on the California thing. But yeah. Then late 2009 we played sports. So we played video games. We went to the museum. We had a pretty fun time with them. But then in late 2009, my dad had to go to school in, I think it was in Missouri. Yeah. And or no, actually was it Missouri or was it, no, it was Washington, I think it was. I can't remember, but we we moved or he was there until like 2010, mid 2010. So we were there without him for a couple of months. Then we moved in 2010, the summer of 2010 to to Fort Lewis, Washington. So overall, a pretty good time. Oh, I grew up on things like places like Stevie B's Pizza in 2008, 2009. but it was in Georgia. I think one time I stole a video game in 2007. I was 6 years old at the time. Um, I, I I had it in my jacket. Went to the car with it. Drove for a good amount of time before I told my parents, and we had to go back and return it, obviously. And thankfully, they gave me a second chance and didn't arrest me. And from that point on, I never did it again. So safe to say, I learned my lesson from that one. But overall, it was a pretty good time in Georgia. Aside from a few incidents, you know.